What's good, y'all? It's time for stage 4 of Epilogue Voidrift Nightmare, and welcome to one of the most disgusting and restrictive stages in the game besides maybe Gear Dungeon 210. So, what are we looking at and why do I think it's so restrictive? Let's have a look at a bit of the formation. So you can only attack the boss right here, and right here. You can only place on these 6 tiles, and there is a distance of 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles to the boss, right? Which means normal fighters won't be able to hit the boss, and mages also won't be able to hit the boss. It eliminates normal fighters, it eliminates mages, which leaves you with what? Oh yeah, also it has a super high magic resistance, so it leaves you with piercing, damage dealing marksmen. And oh yeah, there are so many of them, right? So yeah, the kind of units that are going to be able to help you here are very, very few. So you have, also you need a piercer lot so you can hit from the second row. So you have Iowa and Araka as like the only viable piercer lords, because Lunaria just doesn't work, especially because she does magic damage. And then who are the other units you could use? There's 3 fighters, I guess, so you could name Araka, but she really doesn't do all that much damage. You have Ardea and then you have Arrogance. Those 2 are like the only real fighters you can use here. And then next off you have the Piercers. So who do you have? You have Silas, Hex, Lucius, Setram, Sargak. And that's basically it. If we take a look at the recommended lineups real quick, you can see Sargak, Iowa, Silas Hex, Iowa, Lucius. Yeah, so it's not all that generous. It is pretty restrictive. Okay, what are we looking at here, right? We have our units, and then we have double inspiration. The reason why you would go double inspiration is because you don't have 5 piercers. Like for example, if you had a Setram, you could take out Dolores. If you had a Setram, you could take out Constance, but also these ones are quite important in helping out here. So we have 4 marksmen, 2 inspiration units, 2 tanky units, Volkers in a tank set, but the most important part is their passive. Then we have Isolde, also tanky. Then we have Elowin for Rage Region. Elowin could also be Leia, right? Elowin could also be Leia, who would then strengthen Constance and Lucius. So let's get straight into the fight and get ready to be disgusted. Okay, so straight off the bat we have to be starting off with Iowa, Silas, Dolores, and the boss will stop exactly right here, so we can fast forward time a bit. As soon as we hit 17 cost we bring in Vortex, because just Dolores isn't able to heal complete enough. And then here we go with exactly 1 minute and 20 seconds. We have 1 minute and 20 seconds to deal 70% damage for the first wave. So that's what we're going to be doing here. Then we already be building up the second wave at the top, starting with Elowin, so we can give some extra rage to our bottom units here. And the problem is, this is 100 to 70%, but this is 70 to 30%. So you need to do 40% in basically the same amount of time. So we bring in Hex. We obviously activate all our ultimates as soon as we can. Just trying to somehow push that 70%. Next off we'll be bringing in Constance. So Constance can already charge up her ultimate, because hers does take quite a while. And as soon as Dolores, basically as soon as Silas is ready, we can trigger all ults again. So there we go, and the reason why we trigger Silas' ultimate before Iowa's is just to make his ultimate a little bit stronger. And here we bring in Lucius. So we're closing in on 10 seconds and we are able to hit that 70%, which is nice. And we can even hit a little bit past. So for example here we have like 1.6%, which doesn't seem like much, but depending on your account it might make all the difference in the world. So right here we'll be defending with Volker. Alright, so boss closes in, we instantly activate all our ultimates. and we hit the boss. Now, the first phase was already slightly annoying with the chain lightning, but this part is even more annoying because the boss has learned another attack, and that attack is periodic AoE damage, which is the reason why Leia and Elwyn would be so needed. So right here, Deity's Thunder is gonna be AoE damage, and we're going to be activating Elwyn's ultimate to hold out against it. So yeah, here you can see the ticking damage. We trigger our ultimates as soon as possible. And it's really just a race against time at this point, honestly. So we can already build up our second formation. It's gonna be basically the same way as before, but we'll be introducing another tank into the mix. And then here, once more, as soon as Hex's ultimate is ready, obviously we'll be triggering his. Another Deity's Thunder, so we let that one trigger, and then activate Elwyn's ultimate to hold out. Lucius ultimate to do a bit more damage. And then Constance, so we can boost Hex and Lucius. So right here we have around 12 seconds to do 6% of damage. Keep in mind there's a lot of RNG here too with Hex. And if you are lucky, you might be able to push a bit below 30%. So right here you can see 28. So we made 2% profit. And now we have the last phase where we need to be dealing 28%. Now for those that do remember the last phase, there was this beautiful new mechanic added, and obviously this time they have to add in another one. And what they're doing here is something called Divine Majesty. Divine Majesty will be, when it is triggered, remove a random unit, right? I'll show you the description as soon as this pops up, and then I'll tell you about what is so very wrong with that. So right here we obviously try to use the ultimates. Here we have Deity's Majesty. Deity's Majesty Monster Manual removes a random enemy from the battlefield. Oh, random, so it could be hitting Vortex or Isolde or maybe just a Dolores. But no, it hits Iova. That has never happened before. So enough with the sarcasm. In all the tries I've played this, which is probably like 25 plus, it always hit a DPS. And with the next Deity's Majesty, your other DPS. Always, no exceptions. So there is nothing random about this, besides maybe the DPS that actually gets stolen. So right here we'll be bringing in another DPS. Not quite. We'll let this just roll out. So Deity's Majesty is triggered, which means we let the Deity's Majesty there steal Silas. So with Silas getting stolen, we also remove the tank. And the reason we do that is so that we can finish on another tank. What you can also do, if you really feel like you're fancy, you can remove Vortex also in that rotation and put in a Elwyn instead of Vortex, so you get some extra rage regen. Now this is the important part why Volker is so crucial here, and that is because you will be able to put in your units multiple times. If you do not use Volker, you're most likely not going to beat this unless you have higher awakenings than this. So now that I've briefly mentioned awakenings, maybe Gear's the saving grace, maybe we're just running broken sets, right? So let's have a look at awakenings. Iova is A1, but that's just because I don't have another Iova. I made a mistake, so we only have an A4 one. Besides that, everyone else is Silas and Hex at A0. Constance is at A3, but that doesn't necessarily make all the difference in the world here. And Elwyn is at A4, but that's also completely unimportant. So, let's have a look at the gear. What are we dealing with? Oh, so we have 50% HP, 230% attack, 290 attack speed, 100% crit rate, 201% crit damage, and a 25 artifact. Then we get to Hex, where we have, again, plus 8000. The HP might make a difference, I don't quite know the thresholds. So there we have 200% HP, 300 attack speed, 100% crit rate, 230% crit damage, and its exclusive artifact. Then we get to Silas, Silas obviously has the bond skill. We have him at plus around 200% attack, 200 attack speed, 100% crit rate, 260% crit damage, and 65% rage regen, while I do believe the rage regen doesn't make all that huge of a difference. Maybe you need like 20 to 40%, and then we have another Spirit Siphon. Here's where you could make your units better by we have around the standard full attack flat with rage regen build with some high attack speed, but where you could make it better is by running an invigoration set, though we do have a 25 astral obelisk. Same kind of goes for Dolores here. You could once more use an invigoration set to get some extra attack, but overall 9700 attack, 46% rage regen, and a 25 golden scarab. Isolde is just running some normal tanky. It doesn't necessarily have to be any of that. She just needs to be tanky. Vortex, you just want high HP, high attack speed, and that's all about it. But he doesn't need to be nearly as strong. Lucius, 200% HP, 200% attack, 200 attack speed, 100% crit rate, 190% crit damage, and 25 artifact. Elowen, you could also try and give her an invigoration set, but you truly don't want to place her second, so she just has like a bunch of attack speed, bunch of rage regen, 25 golden scarab. And then we have Volker. Volker is sitting in full tank gear, no artifacts, so at least she's rather chill. So this has been Stage 4. Stage 4 is absolutely ridiculous and a pain in the ass. Peace.